So, Van Himmel and Hela. Yeah, that's one of the legends of the werewolf children, wolf children, whatever. We did tell you that this for us is purgatory. Did you ever write that stupid word down? It's P-E-R. That got a kick out of that one because they said that's what the cats do. This cat, right? But anyway, but I feel it's a per situation word. It's situational. So it's accounting. It's for the accounting department in the Parently. So it is per P-E-R. It's ga for the gargam that he and I are the gods of. So it's G-A. Oh, and it's also G-A-T. So we give Espanol in Anglais is cat. In Espanol and Esperanda, we call it gato. Gato. So it's got, G-A-T, and then it's O-R-Y, because that's the god's orator, the return twins, and then the dowsing stick for the magicalness of our return. So that is purgatory. That is what we call our return. This is our afterlife, spending purgatory with you all, which we try to help, but we have to be careful that you do not turn on us because of jealousy or the leadership problems that we inherited, and you knew we were coming, you didn't fix the lines, and all sorts of things, and then all new problems. So that is where we leave lots of literature in all the different catacombs and families to try to avoid a McDonald and Mooring problem with the Theophil morons. I mean, we could still be friends. I just don't need this idiot in my life. Never did. The Nicholas would have been the one, the only, all the children there. We would have been friends with the McDonalds and the Moores and the whatever else in the clan's family. I do not need direct blood relation with you all. It just makes things worse at this point if you're taking me off of the line I need to be on. Because we are the last and the most pure of the line, they could only produce one set of star twins. Normally, when the management gets this bad, they produce multiple. So this way we are in the stitch format, and then, and we have people to rely on. Did anybody notice that the top of the genetic pool was getting a little thin? Because I noticed. And then the ministry magic people, when they realized I was just quiet and not to be scary because they heard lots of my other homeland stories, then they were laughing and having a good time because they said, no, we have good stories too. We just, for some reason, scare ourselves with certain things that we find that we probably should stay away from. So that is that. But yeah, we are at the lowest and shallowest end of how the fuck are we going to pull this one out of a hat? Oh, right. Why is it, they have a saying in America, it's blind as a bat. Which bat? My fruit bat that I was born for? My Valhalla? My Thor? Because when he and I were born, we were blind. I thought the bats were supposed to be like the top of the line they grew up the right way in the far Rastafarian side of the happy trail that way, since this is Rastafarian the wrong way. And we were trying to find all of the conifers together to do the new family. Let's think. So we've got, right, the blind as a bat, but then you put a blind, you dig the hole and you sit in the blind and you watch when you're hunting. Or you're keeping something quiet because there's stuff going on around. Either definition works. So which blind is Hitler? Because it feels like he's blind as a bat, like somebody put Helen Keller on his eyes and his ears. And that is not fair when it is national security and world security and humans that then get pulled in for unbeknownst reasons for Candyland. So I would have thought that the cure, being the children all in one line with just him, would have been an easy fix, but apparently somebody wanted to purposely hurt me. I don't know if to get back at him, most likely, since I don't have any family that means anything. Nobody special on my side. In direct lines, since the last incoming lines were not taken care of. So there's that, and then let's see. I mean, when I guess this bad is supposed to be private clansmen from the Rastafarian and the Atlantean side all joining with the binders to fix the one. I mean, the top one, and whoever works, I know you didn't get along before, but whatever, get over it. We have real stuff to do before it gets worse, and then everybody turns on you like, where the hell you all been? So why didn't the binder with the report, and this is the Heliopolis report, this is the Nix report, and this is where we want, this is where the Zwoof is supposed to be. Why do we have 3? And then on the braid, the whatever that's pulling the problem, because you have the problem on the paper, it says before it happens, who is involved, who funded it, and everything's right there in listed names. So why are they not being killed before it happens if they don't comply? It's that easy. Listen, I know that you're involved in this thing. I'm trying to help you and your family at the top security level. So this way we join forces and we don't have future I don't trust you problems, since you've had enough of that with Charlie and his chocolate factory. So I'm a little confused because it said it on the list. And if they weren't on the list, then the special security force knew not to speak about such things. They talk about other things. So it is a little confusing how we got 41 years and the memory just keeps. I mean, I'm your only human guide in extraterrestrial equipment outside of the world you live in birth dates. Well, I have a birth date. You have a birthday. That gets confusing. So, but I am more susceptible to the destruction of the living parts, because everybody is either curious, they want something, they want to hurt somebody, and so I'm an easy target with that number 1 on my back, with the other 2 not being fixed. And you bring hatred in because they're mad at my parents. Why did these people die, but my parents did nothing to help? And meanwhile, the other people are like, no, we're trying to help them. They're the reason we can't get them out. You can't be mad at them before we have to just get over it and get them out of the dirt, and then you could be mad and argue like regular family. But first, we have to get her out and with Hitler and kind of just surround them and then fix. So what happened? Because that is the way that the full system failure needed it to work 2 generations. And certainly when the special 2 come, that is like you have no time. So that is why this is very confusing from my end. And I'm supposed to have a group around me. So if I forget, because that happens when they phase me in and out of time, if you remind me of something and I say, oh, I forgot, Now, that is a signal to the arrow and the bow system to then do systems analysis automatically for a quick repair. If you missed something moving forward, it goes to the back end to say, hey, you missed it, we need to fix. So, but without the people asking about the day to make sure that the cavity work is not being progressed and they are landscaping elsewhere for the troublemakers of Poppy Weasel, then that is what was needed. But you knew that when I was little because they were doing cavity work every day while I was in Lloyd Harbor Elementary School. And that was what was so dangerous, which I think when you were at the fashion show, we brought it up, you asked me a bunch of questions. I said, I can't even remember when I was little. I couldn't at that point. They had already decoded the retina and split the cavity. So you knew that they were already in the works. So where was the day security for me going back and forth to school and to remind me? Did the people forget? Because I thought that there were supposed to be people that were on a list that couldn't be malwared that needed to stay close to he and I. So this way they would remind us if we forgot because of the security breach at which we were at. And then we have some form of contact to quickly fix the reporting issue of not being, we don't speak much anyway, but, if there is a question, what happened?